Hello everyone, I'm Adam Abraham, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you I want to say it's the latest member of our President Water Vortex generator family, but it's actually one of the first. This is the Traveler. It began white, what you can see now is a deep I'll call it an indigo blue with almost just a hint of transparency to it. I think it's beautiful, and which is kind of what we were going for. I say it's one of the first because we started this process, oh gosh, around 2015. We had some molds made, and we had a line of small units that we made from those molds. Those molds were made in China, which made their way to California at the time, where the original ones that we had a supply were made, at which point in time they were shipped to Arizona, where I was at the time. And as I moved along, this from starting 2016, they made themselves to St. George, Utah, which then to, Washington. I want to say, Watsika is not Watsika, but Washington State. Then to South Bend, where I happen to be right now, then to Malaysia, where they are today and where these were made. And it's been quite a process to do so. In fact, you could say these are, with the exception of the injection to make these are very, very, very much handmade. And in fact, they came here without our labels. And I have some pictures because I was going to present them without the labels because they come in just a wonderful little box that's all nice and sealed up and everything like that. But and it's a beautiful presentation. But you don't use the box, you use the unit. And when I opened it up, it was more like this, which has our logo embossed on there. But you know something, it's not the same as doing it and showing it that way. So I know people are going to be interested in seeing this, but for whatever reason, color and the dimensionality of the design and everything else, it was not complete unless we had the President Water label on it. And so this batch that we're offering here, all will have been entered into the boxes and will have been put on with a great bit of love by yours truly, or by Jody, one or the other. And that's going to be part of the process. There are also a couple I call beauty marks on these as a part of the process of making these, essentially resurrecting the labels. They have no effect on the performance of these units in terms of what they do. And in fact, if I hadn't said anything, you might not even notice it. But I'm saying it because there is a story behind everything, and there is a commitment, first of all, to this process, this way of water transformation. And this is part of the beginning. We didn't start, this is not necessarily a startup, but we are right now still in the beginning of the movement toward using natural forces, natural physics, motion physics, to cause or facilitate change. It's not that it's going to fix every single problem that may exist in water, for example, or whatever the beverage is or the environment. But we now know, and we have demonstrated not only to ourselves, but experimentally, and with all of the customers as well, that vortexing changes water in very specific, fundamental ways, and it improves it. And so in the ability to have such a wide range of improvements, or should I put it this way, having improvements over such a wide range of situations, then you start looking at what are the most common factors in each of those situations that could account for the change, the beneficial change. Because when I say the change is there, it's not just there's change, but the change is beneficial. And the benefit of the change has to do with functionality, with motility, with absorbability. All of these factors are impacted by the motion state that we induce when water is placed through a vortex generator. Now this can be on your home, it can be on your farm, but it can also be even through the force of bringing water through the traveler personal vortex generator. So we are acknowledging and seeing that there is great benefit to be realized by this, because the most common factors that identify or that apply to the situation of these waters over these wide range of conditions and situations, the most common factor is the motion state. Most of the waters, if they're in a well, the water's just sitting there. It's stagnant water. It's in a well, and we have the idea that, okay, it's great, but its motion state is diminished, and therefore factors such as surface tension and other things that would normally be at play have changed. Chemical changes do occur as a function of the motion or the lack thereof of the solution of the water, of the volume, so to speak. So what we are seeing is that in that common situation, this great commonality over many different locations, they may have individual issues. Some may have more iron, some may have more sulfur, some may have this, some may have that. However, they all have typically some level of stagnancy, I will say. Low motion state, high chaotic state, high surface tension, lower absorbability, on and on and on due to that. And we are finding that putting vortex generators on a line changes those conditions dramatically. So it follows that such a change would also occur when you are going around and you're traveling and you have a traveler personal vortex generator with you. And here it is. So with all that being said, this is basically how you do it. You need any instructions on use? This is one of our simplest ones to do, okay? Yeah. You see, it creates very little obstruction. And we've done some testing on designs and stuff to see what kind of obstruction does it have or does it create. And it's very, very little. It's very, here we go. There you go. So this is the Traveler PVG, Personal Vortex Generator. I just added the P. I didn't call it that in the beginning, but it's a nice little touch, don't you think? And so for more information, or to order it, go to our website, presidentwater.co.